What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So last time we talked about the black-eyed children, and today we are going to be talking about their potential parents, the Men in Black. If you are aware of the term Men in Black, that is probably because of a Will Smith movie that came out in, I believe, the early 2000s. That is a comedic take on this urban legend, actually. So what are the Men in Black? Well, the movie gets it right to a point. There are these mysterious agents that appear to people that have generally just had a UFO sighting or some other paranormal experience, and they come to intimidate the witness into keeping quiet. Now, there are a couple theories on what these Men in Black could actually be. So the first and probably most obvious theory on what the Men in Black could be are government agents from either the FBI or some other secret branch of the government, and their whole job is to suppress and intimidate witnesses into not talking about their UFO or other paranormal experiences, to prevent hysteria or prevent their own interactions with aliens or alien tech they may have, or just national security. And the second, rather than being humans, they are themselves aliens, and they visit these witnesses of really strange experiences and again try to silence them in order to keep their own existence a secret. I will say, whatever these guys are, not that I really believe in them, but whatever they are, they fucking suck at their jobs, considering there are, I think, 4 movies about them. Not exactly keeping a low profile, and everyone who has apparently had an encounter with them felt the need to tell the world. So apparently the earliest account of the Men in Black is from 1947 from a man named Harold Dahl. After having a UFO sighting with him, his son, and 2 other crewmen on his boat, that is frankly crazier than the actual Men in Black part. He claimed that he was visited by a man in a black suit that threatened him into silence, and obviously, since we're talking about it, he didn't listen. Like I said, the Men in Black part of the story is the least interesting part. It's like one little sentence from what I read. The actual UFO encounter is fucking nuts. So here is Harold's account. On June 21st, 1947, in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, I was patrolling the east bay of Maury Island, which is in Washington. I, as captain, was steering my patrol boat close to the shore of a bay on Maury Island. On board were my 2 crewmen, my 15-year-old son, and his dog. As I looked up from the wheel on my boat, I noticed 6 very large donut-shaped crafts. He then claimed that the crafts began dumping what looked like thousands of newspapers, but actually turned out to be pieces of very light white metal. After that, he said that a substance from the crafts resembling molten rock started raining down into the boat, breaking the arm of one of the crewmen and killing his son's dog. He reported this encounter to his boss, Fred Chrisman, who went to investigate the scene later and claimed to also see the crafts and recovered some of the metal debris. Then Harold made his claim that he was later approached by a man in a black suit that threatened him to stay silent about what he had seen. Further investigation into the story debunked most of the points, if not all of them. When the metal debris was examined, it was described as mundane and inconsistent with how Harold had described it. Actually, a lieutenant of military intelligence and a captain came down and conducted interviews, as well as collected the debris, I assume, to be further tested or put into evidence if they were going to charge Harold with some sort of hoax. But they died in a plane crash on their way back to California, which is where they flew out from, all the way to Washington to investigate this. Very weird. I'm not claiming some sort of conspiracy or that the Men in Black did it, but I will say that's kind of a weird coincidence. The FBI investigated and they concluded that this was a hoax as well, but they did note that Harold Dahl said that if anyone asked, he would also agree that it was a hoax just because he wanted to be done with the situation. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. However, apparently several local media outlets released several alternative versions of the story from Harold and his boss. So obviously he did not claim that it was a hoax, as he told the FBI he was going to. In 1956, Air Force officer Edward J. Ruppelt concluded that the whole Maury Island mystery was a hoax. The first, possibly the second best, and the dirtiest hoax in the UFO history. The majority of the writers of saucer lore have played this sighting to the hilt, pointing out as their main premise the fact that the story must be true because the government never openly exposed or prosecuted either of the two hoaxers. This is a logical premise, but a false one. The reason for the thorough investigation of the Maury Island hoax was that the government had thought seriously of prosecuting the men. At the last minute, it was decided after talking to the two men that the hoax was a harmless joke that had mushroomed, and that the loss of the 2 lives and the B-25 could not be directly blamed on the 2 men. So the FBI concluded that it was a hoax, though people still believe it is. I know the Men in Black aren't really a huge component in this alleged story, but it is the first, if not one of the first, accounts of someone being approached by the Men in Black. Although I am curious, if this man claimed that his dog was killed, was there a dog on the boat? And to convince people that it was legit, did he kill the dog? Or, because if he claimed the dog was dead, but then came home or someone later saw the dog alive, that would, like, mess up his entire story. So I want to know what happened to the dog. And also, wouldn't the crewmate who allegedly broke his arm, like, how did that happen? I'm not like saying this because I'm convinced it's real. I'm just asking, like, to what lengths did they go to make this hoax look believable? Because there's no information I can find on that. So this next account is what I was mentioning, wanting to talk about in my last video, because it takes place very close to where I used to live. So it is about a gentleman named Shane Sovar, who used to be a manager of a hotel in 2008, and he claimed to have a UFO sighting in October of that year with a security guard of the hotel. A few weeks later, when Shane and the security guard were not at work, 2 identical men apparently came into the hotel looking for Shane and the security guard and wanted to talk to them. These men were big and they had suits on, and according to witnesses, they had no hair or eyebrows. Let me backtrack a little because I missed talking about this earlier. Some of the reasons that people think the Men in Black are aliens is because they don't look quite human. Sometimes when people claim to be approached by them, they'll say they have no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. They may talk in a very robotic way, or it just sounds dead and monotone. They often look identical. They don't quite act right. So this is apparently what these gentlemen looked like. And the weird thing is, these gentlemen were actually caught on security cameras coming into the building, and it's kind of grainy, so you can't really tell if the eyebrows and eyelash thing is true, but it is 2, as you'll see, 2 very big, intimidating looking men in trench coats coming in and apparently looking for 2 people that weren't there. But apparently they left and they never came back after asking for Shane. So what do I think the Men in Black are? Well, I don't think they're aliens. I do believe in aliens, but I don't believe they're these humanoid things that are running around in disguise around us. I believe it would more be like bacteria and stuff. I don't think we would find intelligent life right next to us or visiting us. I believe anything like that is probably very far away. I will say, however, I know it is a thing for some, like, paranormal and UFO accounts that, like, local law enforcement or parts of the government will investigate. I don't know how much they believe it's aliens, but they could also believe that it's some sort of national security threat. It could be a secret weapon used by another government, or, you know, all sorts of still scary but more mundane things. And authority figures like that, often even without really intending to, they are intimidating. They can come off as threatening, especially if they are investigating something that you don't understand and scared the shit out of you, and then they're like trying to keep it hush-hush for whatever reason. I understand how, like, somebody could say, like, I don't think they were human, or they're just trying to cover everything up and they're shady and blah, 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 which they could be. I don't know if I believe the whole alien thing, but I do believe that the Men in Black could just be government or law enforcement agents that regular people come to visit, tell you, they say, like, oh, keep this on the down low just for, like, political reasons, or for security reasons or whatever, or maybe it was some military technology that they don't want to get out that somebody just happened to witness. So that's my take on the Men in Black. Let me know in the comments what you think below. A lot of people who are like UFOologists or whatever they call themselves really believe that these people are real, whether they are aliens or government agents. They believe they're real and believe that they're sent around to silence people that have seen like unidentified flying objects. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for everything. I've gained 3 new subscribers in the last week since my previous video, and I am so thankful for that. I'm hoping to reach 100 subscribers soon, and I'm gonna have to think of a really big video for that to celebrate with you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.